Connection with a friend with the little phone.
Just like I stay with my habits, just I look game by game, and it's not necessary to watch on the second or third game, because if you lost the first one, after you get back home, don't just focus on Ankara. Everybody knows it's really tough for us because Ankara is a really great team. Just you give a maximum. We will give a maximum for have a big win, but I know it's tough. Not necessarily about that, because everybody knows for Dijon it's amazing to be here. It's the first point. But after it's not because it's amazing you stop here. You want to continue our way. But after since 2, 3, 4 seasons, every time you have Dijon is underdog, and it's not a reason for play tough and for why not big great win one more time.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
It will be a very important tournament for our club and for my city, also for our players and for us. So we had some preparation before the game, and Dijon is a very good team. They show us how they are important team and how they are playing good basketball. So we prepared well, and we will do everything for winning the game.
Have you managed to adjust the new players what you want through the games in your national league, so they can be ready for this game?
It's very hard situation for every club after pandemic situation. So we have just 45 days for preparation, and we have some problems. We are the new team, but we will do everything for winning the game.
Well, good evening, folks, and welcome to Athens, Greece. This is the second quarterfinal of the Basketball Champions League, and it's Türk Telekom taking on JDA Dijon. Well, folks, it's been an incredible year, really, in many respects for all the wrong reasons with the coronavirus pandemic, but these two clubs certainly distinguished themselves in the Basketball Champions League in the 2019-2020 season, and Dijon taking care of business in their game, their Game 3 decider in the round of 16, going up against Nizhny Novgorod to earn a spot in this Final 8. And they will be taking on a retooled Türk Telekom team, a team that was already very good. You subtract a couple players, you add a couple players, and all of a sudden they've got the look of a team that, at least on paper, is probably as good as any team in this competition. The question is, will they be able to gel, and will we see the best of them, especially as we are early in the season and they have one game under their belt? Well, I'm Jeff Taylor, and once again joined by Mark Clark. And Mark, we've already watched San Pablo Burgos open their campaign with an impressive win over Hapoel Bank Yahav Jerusalem. Burgos perhaps with the luxury of already having 3 league games under their belt, winning 2 of those, whereas Hapoel Bank Yahab Jerusalem had not played, but that's taking nothing away from the great performance from Burgos. Now we have Dijon, and you already heard the coach talk about how this is a great accomplishment for them to get this far, taking on Türk Telekom.
Well, the great thing for Dijon, Jeff, is they've had a competitive game. They had to win that last 16 decider, and they were put under a lot of pressure by Nizhny. So they're prepped for that. The way that they found a way to win, the fact they have the return in David Holston that gives them that leadership on the floor, they're all good things for Dijon. But as you said, Türk Telekom, they come into this competition successful last season, but you could say they've upgraded. But the question mark is how much that upgrade gels together, and we won't know that until this game gets underway. So Dijon have the advantage of the fact that they've had that preparation game. They have a lot of chemistry. You put a great deal of emphasis on that, and I would 100% agree. Whereas Türk Telekom, they've got a lot of guys who know each other. They've got a lot of guys who feel good about being on the same team, but they haven't been faced in a competitive game by an opponent who's going to go all out to get to that semi-final berth.
Well, Dijon, for many reasons, a team that you cannot take lightly. You mentioned David Holston, but Türk Telekom also. Look at these players. They've got Kamar Baldwin now on this team, Sam Decker, Tyler Ennis, as well as Kiefer Sykes, who owns the Basketball Champions League scoring record of 43 points when he played for Avellino, and of course Kyle Wiltshire and Michael Eric. You know, these players, not to mention Mohamed Baigul, all players that have played at a very high level, very competitive level. But you know, you do wonder about that rhythm aspect. Where are they going to be? They have played a game in Turkey. Dijon have actually also played a game in France and won against Asvel. So perhaps these two may be more in a similar way in terms of where they are in terms of early season. And it's fascinating that, you know, with the coronavirus pandemic unfortunately halting all of the action when it did, it's fascinating how these teams, these clubs rather, have come back now to play in the Final 8. And the onus is on the coach and the players and the clubs to try to put their best out there, because listen, you know, it's not often that you get a chance to win a trophy. And so this is a big opportunity. Each of these teams, they know they're 3 wins away from winning the Basketball Champions League. Burgos have already won their quarterfinal. Now they will face the winner of this game. And there's a lot at stake in this game for these players and these clubs.
Jeff, you can't underestimate that silverware attraction, if you want, the desire to win. And this is a major European competition, not like this time of the year. The most you're going to get is a preseason tournament, but this is genuine, high-quality silverware, really highly ranked competition. The thing that really intrigues me about Türk Telekom is last year, lowest points production off the bench. Well, they're deeper this year, so that's a different dynamic as a group. That's a different dynamic from the coaching perspective. You know, how do you incorporate more talent on your bench to get output? That's sometimes you see coaches say it's great, I'm really deep, but that gives them different problems, different challenges. At this level, it shouldn't be an issue, but they had a way of playing last year with most of the points production coming from their starters. Dijon have always had this team thing. They're the best team in terms of scoring off of their defense. The only team scoring double-digit, like 20 points out of their turnovers. They do a really nice job as a group. And coach said in the interview, they're always the underdog. Everyone, even when you and I talked, we thought Nizhny might beat them in the round of last 16. Everyone thinks, you know, Dijon, the French league, they haven't done tremendously well in the last few years in terms of Basketball Champions League, getting to the stage when the silverware's up for stakes. But they seem to relish being that team that has to find a way to win in spite of being the underdog. If they play without fear, having had that last 16 pressure, you know, Holston could lead this team to an upset, and it would be an upset because, as you said, Türk Telekom have really, they've actually gone shopping. They've gone shopping and have come back with some really high-quality products. They have a real deep roster that has genuine quality with genuine pedigree on it. But the game's not decided that way. I think Holston, the way he leads this team, the emotion this team puts on the floor, I think the thing that's going to carry him forward, they've got a real genuine shot at this. They're never out of a game And one of the best teams at controlling games as well. They lead at the half, they very rarely lose because they know how to control games. It's a tough one to call this.
Yes, it really is. And it's interesting with David Holston, the point guard. You know, he's 34 years of age. He comes in at 1.67 meters in height. So he's not the biggest guy. That's 5 feet 6 inches. But there's not a player in the Basketball Champions League that has more heart. And clearly he exudes talent. And more than anything, it seems like David Holston really embraces the challenge. He wants to come out and really prove the world wrong. And you know what? It's a tough old ask to come up with star 5 teams, star 5 second teams. I really felt like you know, if any player in this competition deserved to be in one of those two teams, even the star 5 team, I thought it was David Holston, and he was left off. So don't be surprised if he has a chip on his shoulder once again, having to come out and prove himself once again. And what do you say about Alexandre Chassagne? I mean, he has been absolutely terrific for Dijon. This Basketball Champions League, as well as the French League, has allowed him to kind of like raise his profile, kind of force his way into that French national team setup. He's been able to play for the national team a little bit, as has Axel Julien. So, you know, Abdoulaye Loum, a player that stands tall, comes out, makes some big plays. And we haven't spoken about Hans van Wijn, who played for Antwerp, has that Final Four experience from the last Final Four. The addition of Chase Simon, who played in Poland, has come over. He played in the Basketball Champions League. Jaron Johnson is an exciting player. So, you know, don't just think that Türk Telekom are going to come out here purely and win by virtue of having some real stars in their team, like Ennis and Decker especially.
Jeff, you're so right, because this is an opportunity for those Dijon players. The team might be an underdog. They might be underdog. This is Basketball Champions League is their opportunity, and you know, that they play that way as a group. They really do give it up for each other, and you can't, especially at early season, that could count for so much if either team is not quite in sync, because I think that Dijon will find a way to get the most out of that situation. They'll tough it out. They won't worry about just having to blue collar this, just work it out and find a way to be successful. Türk Telekom, if this game was played on paper, you and I wouldn't need to be here. We'd be just calling it in terms of Türk Telekom win the game. It's so fortunate that we got these matchups. Dijon, I just have this thing. They found a way to win in the 16. They found a way to qualify. They've found a way in this Basketball Champions League season to be successful. And I think Holston's relationship with the coach, Holston's relationship with the team is very special, and Dijon have found a way to be successful. So I'm interested to see how that emotional side of the game tries to tackle what is probably a more talented Türk Telekom team.
Well, one of the interesting things about the way things have unfolded is because the 2019-2020 season, a lot of players were under contract until the summer, but some of them were under contract and have remained with their teams, but some have actually left and joined new teams. And Samet Gayek, formerly of Besiktas in the Basketball Champions League, one of those players who now finds himself playing with another team in Turkey, Türk Telekom. And I've always admired how he played. I think he is underrated. He will come out and really bring some toughness, some athleticism, some length to this Türk Telekom team. It's not just about all of the imports coming in. It's also about the Turkish players. Here we have the referees for tonight's game, and once again, an all-star crew, Manuel Mazzoni and Saverio Lanzarini from Italy, and Tomas Jasavicius from Lithuania. So, you know, we've seen these guys operating at the highest levels of the Basketball Champions League and also international basketball, the national team tournaments. So that's already, to me, it just goes to show how serious of a Final Eight this is. And I'm curious as to know who is going to be the refereeing crew once we get to that final, because there's going to be a lot of competition for those spots. Jaron Johnson, Chase Simon, Abdoulaye Loum, Alexandre Chasson, and Axel Julien in that starting five. It's one of these cases where David Holston, in my opinion, is the best player in this Dijon team, yet he comes off the bench. He is a spark that starts a raging fire often. So I hope he lives up to his billing tonight. There he is, 21 points per game, 54%, 7 assists. He just does it all.
Well, that 54% is huge, because when David Holston's scoring, he's often trying to create at the bottom of a shot clock. He's trying to take the responsibility for his team. So those percentages are great, as are these percentages. You mentioned it when they were going through the roster. Chasson has been phenomenal. I think he's one of those guys that, why European club basketball is so important. He has forged a pathway into the national team, a pathway into the higher levels through the Basketball Champions League, and he's done a great job for Coach Leguenom, who's, I think, you see some coaches really have great relationships with their organizations, and he is one of those guys. And often in France, coaches have longer-term careers with an individual club, and they really do feel the club as well as just coach the club, and he's one of those coaches. And they have a real feel for each other, and I think it's really good to see Dijon here. This Türk Telekom team, though, if they can find a way to get their rhythm, to get their continuity, to get their balance correct and play with each other, this starting lineup, Decker, Innis, Eric, Sykes, and Wiltshire. Okay, it's a foreign starting lineup, which is an issue in some ways, but that lineup is talented 1 through 5. If Dijon can keep him off the glass, if Dijon can keep him on the perimeter, then this is going to be a tough one. Wiltshire had a great season. Nearly 18 points a game at 60%, 43% from the three-point line. He's got a green light. He never abuses it. He takes good shots. And he is welcoming guys into this program. Tyler Innis is, again, just a flat-out stud of a basketball player. If this Türk Telekom team click, they could send as big a message to the competition as Burgos did in the first game.
Burak Gordon definitely probably is thinking, you know what, if we come out and we can gel and we can execute the game plan, we are going to be good. But we know that their next opponent, even if they were able to win this game, is going to be watching this one and trying to plot their downfall. San Pablo Burgos will be a tough opponent for any team in this final 8. Tyler Innis and Kyle Wiltshire, by the way, both Canadians. Kyle Wiltshire played for Canada at the World Cup, and both have NBA experience, having played in the league coming out of college. In fact, Tyler Innis spent several years over, so now he is here, and it's exciting to have him over here on the old continent. So, Mark, in terms of the good start, how imperative is it for Türk Telekom to come out and have a good start against Dijon, knowing that Dijon, perhaps, is the good start more important for one of these two clubs? Let's put it that way.
I think it's more of an unknown when it comes to Türk Telekom. Like Dijon, you know what you're going to get. You know, we saw in the game of the last 16, we saw them, you know, winning in France. Beating Asheville is a big-time result for them, but I think they benefited from the preparation for their Basketball Champions League game. I think for Türk Telekom, I'm going to be intrigued, because with a team of people at that level, it's, do they click as a unit? If they move the ball, I wouldn't be surprised if they came out. If they can get to the ring early, great. I wouldn't be surprised though if they came out, moved the ball, got everybody touches, and just tried to work their way back, work their way into the game. I think for Dijon, I think it's going to, the more broken they can make this game, the more disjointed they can make this game, the more they can spread the floor, the better. Because that will challenge Türk Telekom's continuity on the floor, their awareness of each other, if they have to think this game through. So the start for Türk Telekom, time with the ball, I think, unless they have early options, would be important for them. If they can spend time with the ball, I think it's going to help them work their way into this final 8.
Well, fascinating stuff. Remember, this is the culmination of the 4th year of the Basketball Champions League. In year 1, it was Iberostar Tenerife winning it in Tenerife as the host of the Final Four. In year 2, it was Ike who are also in this Final Eight, winning it here in Athens. And then in year 3, it was Virtus Bologna winning the Basketball Champions League Final Four that was staged in Antwerp, Belgium. All 3 Final Fours were excellent, and because of the coronavirus pandemic or COVID-19, the decision was made, having had to prematurely bring it into the playoffs, or anyway halt them with still games in the round of 16 to be played, to go ahead and have a Final 8. And great news is here in Athens, one of the real homes of European basketball, and already lots of excitement here in this ancient city, this place that has really been a venue for so many incredible games over the years, both for Greece's national team and league play in Europe. Well, good evening, folks, and we're underway here, the second quarterfinal of the Basketball Champions League here at the Final 8 in Athens, and it's Türk Telekom winning the opening tip, wearing the white and attacking the basket to the right. And we have a reach and a foul. So that foul called on Chase Simon.
Jeff, they spent time with the ball. Let's be fair to them. They did 20 seconds of offense, moved the ball, so a lot of screens, a lot of action. Apart from the last play, didn't really attack the defense and break them down, but they spent some time with it. Everyone got touches. And that doesn't surprise me. I think they're going to, Turkish club basketball that's very technical, really well coached. And spending time with the ball, I think, is important for them.
So Tyler Ennis gets his first Basketball Champions League points here at the free throw line. Brother of Dylan Ennis, who plays at Zaragoza, also in this Final 8. Now Chase Simon, they rotate the ball to the left corner. The ball goes out of bounds. Well, it looked like it did, but Türk Telekom must have kept it in. Now Eric, they passes it back outside to Ennis. And you can see Chase Simon sagging on Decker. Comes up to meet Ennis. Wiltshire on the baseline. Eric with the rebound. And that is going to set alarm bells ringing if they start getting some of those.
Absolutely, because they did a good job picking up early, forcing the ball back to the outside, and then poor shot, and they gave up the offensive rebound. They've really got to work hard on the glass. They're going to be undersized all night.
Three-point attempt and 0 for 2. That time it was Jaron Johnson. Now Sykes. Decker puts it on the deck, spins, gets in the paint, throws it back outside. Here's Wiltshire. That's good. Well, all those things that you were talking about, using your possession, the early signs are good for Türk Telekom.
Totally. Everyone got a touch again, and then Wiltshire with his feet set.
Abdoulaye Loom misses badly, and that was early in the shot clock. And Lednall might be thinking about getting a timeout here early. Good hands to knock it out of bounds, Alexandre Chassong.
But apart from the last one, the first 2 offenses for Dijon, they moved the ball well. They got wide open looks. They're a little passive, but they both were wide open looks. The last one was a little early, the wrong guy shooting the basketball, etc., etc. But no alarm bells. The alarm bell really, I think, is the fact they gave up the offensive rebound. They forced them into the last part of the clock, so they're doing okay. They've just got to take care of business on the glass.
Sykes almost loses it, but in the end, Sam Decker gets it, and another offensive rebound, although perhaps that was because the shot was missed so badly.
Absolutely.
And Michael Eric puts it up and in.
Yeah, it's tough to rebound the air ball.
Quick pass inside to Chassong. He takes it back out to Julien. Here it is, Johnson again. This time, Jaron Johnson drills the three-pointer.
Well, they were patient. They went inside. The defense collapsed. They moved the ball, the open look. Interesting start to the game. Both teams trying to just work each other out. Both teams really trying to get the good shot.
Ennis, little pump fake, and almost gets a chance for a three-point play, but he'll go back to the line.
Well, I tell you, Jeff, what was the first game? Like Burgos had 49 at the half. That's the, I don't think, apart from the early shot from Dijon, everyone's been under 10, and most of the time they've been in the last 5 seconds of the shot clock. Both teams really spending time, really trying to create, get a good look. The one guy who can inject pace into any game just enters the game after just over 3 minutes. Holston's in. Changes the whole dynamic. Early. Yeah.
Because Chase Simon has picked up 2 early fouls. So a player that you need out there, especially for his offense, has had to retire to the bench. Chase Simon, but nevertheless, he gets in the man that we've been talking about, Holston.
He's going to be a handful. Whoever's guarding him, he's going to be a you can't help off him.
Chassong, a little bit short. Now Decker. And I'll tell you what, the approach of this Türk Telekom team is patient, and they're doing exactly what their coach is asking. There's no doubt about it. They look good here at the start.
And that's poor by Luam, isn't it, though? He's closed out. He really doesn't need to get into the sort of bump type foul. He's done a good job. He's got to contain that. He's quick enough to contain it. He's just got to stay down, stay between Wiltshire and the hoop, and then everybody's fine. They've controlled the ball. They're forcing Türk Telekom into the half court, and they have some control. It's just got to maintain discipline on those closeouts.
The Belgium international Hans van Wijn has checked into the game now, number 9. And another shot down low for the big man, Michael Eric.
Well, Dijon are going to have to come up with, all they're going to do is, if Dijon are going to switch, they can't switch Holston onto anybody.
Oh, nice, competent shot there from Chassong. Wiltshire hits the cutting Eric, who drives in. He will go to the line.
And that's all about Van Wijk getting on the wrong side. He didn't need, I have no idea why he tried to play the passing lane so hard, because it was just a simple pass to the top, got beat on a back cut, and then calls the rotation that generated the foul. There was no need. And what Türk Telekom are doing is they really are setting good screens for each other, moving the ball. Everyone knows they're going to get a touch if they're open. And they've come out of pre-season with a nice feel and a nice look. This group looks like it really wants to play together.
That shot goes off the back of the iron, but in the lane too early, I think. So Eric is going to get another opportunity. Or no, there's a foul that's been called.
That's a 5-0. It's 5-0 on the. Yeah, you see the hold of the shirt. Van Wijn didn't box out. That's a 5-0 foul count. So Dijon are struggling to contain. There's so much movement from Türk Telekom that Dijon are really chasing, really being reactive with their defense. So they're not. It's a great start for Türk Telekom, and just the way they've established the game is going to be played.
Johnson. Sykes rebounds it, gets it over to Ennis. And an offensive foul called on Eric.
Let's take a look. There you go.
Oh, yeah. They're saying that he hooked him.
Yep. To be fair to officials, they always say as soon as you put the palm of your hand onto an opponent, be it offensive or defensive, there's always the chance the referee's going to call you for the foul, because no coach tells you to put the palm of your hand onto a player. There's no reason to do it. So maybe, was it a call, was it not? But that's why the referee called it.
On 14 points, you give 14 points. We go. Two offensive rebound. No need.
Shooting stats better for Türk Telekom. More opportunities anyway.
Yeah.
No mistake and one.
You can hear the sense of urgency in Laurent Lagnon's voice as he tries to turn things around over there on the Dijon bench. But that was the offensive rebound you don't want to give away.
Yeah. And he's quite right. You know, they must have talked in the locker room and in preparation for this about how they're going to try to force Türk Telekom to put the ball on the floor, not let them run these relatively technical, complicated plan, a lot of action away from the basketball that generates then, you know, people coming to set ball screens. It's really moving the defense around. They've just been very passive. They've been very reactive, and they've been chasing offense for the first part of this game. They've got to start to get a little bit more. We want you to go to this area of the floor. We want to force you here. You're not going to come off this screen in the way you want to come off the screen. They're going to have to start forcing Türk Telekom out of what they run. The trouble is now they're already in the penalty, so they've just got to be a little careful in how they do that.
And you can also see how they're denying the ball to Holston. Now Johnson, open again, doesn't hesitate. And I guess he has the green light, although it looks like Lagnon thinking maybe that pass was, or that shot was a little too early. Ennis from downtown, Tyler Ennis. And boy, the array of talent, we have not been overhyping it, folks. I mean, the way they have started, they have really come out like a house on fire today. Türk Telekom leading it by 12. Van Wijn answers with the three.
So much better the way they moved the ball. They created that situation where Türk Telekom had to chase them. Still got to knock the shot down. Van Wijn does that nicely from the corner.
Now Wiltshire. And Holston catches it, a chance on the open floor now for David Holston. Bounce pass to Van Wijn, and is he going to go to work? He's going to pass it back outside. Holston faked the pass, took it all the way in and missed it off the glass. Ennis shaking and baking, gets inside, misses the layup. Now Johnson, Dijon might have numbers 3-on-2. Johnson is going to decide to take it all himself, and Chassong follows it up. And it's the dirty work, the hustle of Chassong that separates him from so many players. Gets down the floor, now has a chance for a three-point play.
Well, that's exactly what we talked about Chassong. You mentioned it. I re-emphasized the fact. And we talked about Dijon needing to outwork Türk Telekom, because that's the one way they can really get an advantage. Chassong outworked his opponent, gets the offensive rebound, gets the extra point, and it's a 6-point game.
And gets Michael Eric out of the game. That was his foul. And they bring in the high energy now, Samet Gayic. Jacques Alenga also has come into the game for Chassong. So 3-point player for Chassong. Chassong makes it a 6-point game. Quick pass down low, and there's Gayic. Catches it down low, turns, and is wide open as Dijon tried to apply pressure out on that perimeter.
Johnson's job there is to stop that roll. If they throw it to the sideline, then he can recover. If they throw it to the middle, as you saw, he has no chance to recover. So he has to stop the roll if they're going to show hard on the screen like they did. You can't, you have to commit to the rule. And he didn't then. An easy 2 on the back of him, not stopping that. If they make the perimeter shot, that's fine. That's what the coach has decided he wants to give. But Türk Telekom, execution out the top draw.
Julian, bounce pass, back to Van Wijn, who goes in, gets the contact, follows up his miss, and there for the follow. So Alange with the putback. And now with the defense, Holston trying to box out. And Ennis really putting the pressure on Holston, and he wasn't able to retain it. No, excuse me, it wasn't Ennis. Ennis was thinking in that other league he used to play, and he might have gotten a foul on that drive.
I have to have a little sympathy for him. There looked a lot of body contact as he tried to create an angle off the glass. He probably needs to sit. Dust himself down a little bit after the last 2 drives. He's ended up being banged to the floor on both of those.
Well, John Korkmaz comes into the game. Now Sykes, and not surprisingly with the 3-pointer, you would think with some of those other starters out of the game now, it's a chance for Sykes to step up and show his offense. Van Wijn quickly puts up the 3. Holston with the rebound. Gets it back outside to Julian, and he answers with the 3. And the game now starting to get into a little bit of a flow here for Dijon.
Did we not mention that David Holston rebounds as well at 5 foot, not many inches? This guy just doesn't stop working, does he?
He just does not. He even left, it seemed like he left his feet without anywhere to pass it, or not knowing where he was going to pass it, but he was able to get it. Here he is again. And maybe there was a bump there that Türk Telekom got away with on Holston. He thought he was fouled. Korkmaz, entry pass down low. Korkmaz again. Oh, nice move by Korkmaz. Yeah. Impressive.
And Leon gave him the middle. That was when the problem started. It was a great move to finish, though.
And that time Johnson thought Van Wijn was going to be in the corner. Hans Van Wijn was driving, or going to the basket, getting ready to hit the offensive glass or look for the pass down low. Well, Korkmaz, he is not afraid, is he? He launches a shot from the next county, from Thessaloniki. And Holston fouled by Sykes. You kind of get the feeling that right now is a time when Dijon need to make some inroads with some of that high-priced talent on the bench for Türk Telekom.
Yeah, Jeff, for 2 reasons. That's the first one, with the rotation that Türk Telekom have, but also they've got some rhythm now, Dijon. They've got to make the most of that. Holston needs to find his own offense here as well, but they really are keying on him. But this is an opportunity going into the end of the quarter. Get it to 6, get it to 5, and you're going to feel really good about yourself if you're Dijon.
There he is. Look at him. Holston goes right down the lane and gets the foul called on Gaik. Could not have worked out any better, perhaps with the exception of making the shot and having a 3-point play.
I think they're discussing the fact they hit the ring. It may be a basket.
Yeah, it might be a goal interference.
That's what Holston's saying as well.
Well, who hit it? That's the question.
Are they going to look at it?
I don't think they can look at it.
They can't look at that? someone's messed the net up anyway, so someone's had a piece of it.
Yeah, it's certainly a fair appeal though by Dijon to say that there was, there was a player from Türk Telekom. I'd like to see it again myself.
Yeah.
Who got caught up in the net.
Well, you know, Jeff, when we had the conversation, the previous game, where it really helps if the officials are decisive and they give you the opportunity and you want to hear what they've got to say, and they may not be able to review the decision, but most of that was all caused by what happened. No one knew what happened, and now we're going to have a timeout. Obviously, someone was hanging on the ring. Let's have a look.
Here we go.
Oh, they're going to.
Oh no, this is an earlier shot.
Chasson with a nice pick and pop. So
yeah, so you feel really right now that, you know, this is the time that Dijon need to score, make these free throws, and get to the change of quarter with trailing by 6.
Yeah, and the way that the game started, they would have taken that when they were down. What, 8-9-1 at the beginning of the game. Türk Telekom getting what they wanted, getting the offensive rebounds. Dijon not making jump shots. You know, they'd have probably taken 6 at that point, but that would be 6 without Holston getting himself going offensively, which is a good sign for Dijon, because you know at some point he's going to start to tick the scoreboard over.
Yeah, their biggest lead in this game has been 12 points, Türk Telekom. So if they can get it back to 6, that would definitely be what the doctor
That worry,
ordered.
Jeff. 24 points in a quarter. That's pretty much on schedule for high 90s, 100-point game. I don't know if Dijon have got that many points in the arsenal. I think it's too high a scoring game for Dijon to compete with Türk Telekom. They've got to get it into the, well, hopefully into the 70, around the 80-point mark at worst, and then I think they have a chance. But to get them up to trying to win this game 98, 98, 99 type scores, I just can't see Dijon having that many points that they can actually accumulate tonight. I could see Türk Telekom, the way they're moving the ball, with the percentages they're shooting, with Eric going to work on the glass. They're a team that's got lots of points in the bank.
Yep, that's right. They've already got 24, and they'll have a chance to go to 26, 27 here in this first quarter before this is all said and done, once they fix the net. But how important is it to have players like Korkmaz come out and just play so positive the way that he did? I mean, they lost nothing by bringing him into the game.
And that's definitely the point we were making.
It's so crucial.
Yeah, definitely the point we were making earlier in the game, where for the game, in fact, where they got no points production off their bench last year at all in relation to their overall output. Getting contributions off the bench, I think, makes a difference in this type of format. 3 games, 4 days, whatever, you've got to get contributions, and so contributions off the bench, absolutely vital. It's taken a long time, Jeff, to rethread the net. I've got to. Maybe
and we still haven't seen the play that led to the to the net. That's the big thing that we would like to see what the griping, what the complaining was about from Dijon.
Here we go.
There they go. At least,
they're going to tape
a good
it.
Look at them.
And they've had to tape it up. Even in the OACA, there's no answer apart from tape. You can't beat tape.
Maybe they would replace it at halftime.
I would hope so.
Is that possible?
Or even at the quarter. Well, put it if with that type of basket, if the plastic thing is broke that stops the net, keeps the net up. And someone did pull on it. Someone was hanging on it. So gives more fuel to the Dijon argument. But I think they've lost that debate.
Holston comes to the line, bends his knees, and makes what really amounts to a very important free throw, even though it's very early in the game. And makes another important one to get it back to 6. Now maybe Dijon, who knows, maybe they could force a turnover here. They've brought in Baigul.
Good move to go up the floor. Take some time out the last 15 seconds. Try and make it tougher for Türk Telekom.
Well, Wiltshire uncorks a 3 and misses. They got a good look. But as it is Türk Telekom leading at 24-18 at the end of 1.
Well, statistically, Dijon recovered from that start where they couldn't make a jump shot. But if you Türk Telekom, you've got to love the way you played the game. If that's what coach asked for at the beginning of the game, they moved the ball, they set good screens, they created high percentage shots. And I assume from the way they look pretty comfortable that they're very, very happy with the start in that first quarter. Everybody got a touch, everybody shared it. They got great contributions coming off the bench, then they're in a good place. Even though Dijon have dragged themselves back into the game on the back of when Holston comes into the game, it's just a different Dijon team. The tempo's a bit higher. He creates for everybody else. And so both teams will be relatively happy at the end of 1.
Well, I know that definitely having heard Kyle Wiltshire speak before this Final 8, he was extremely optimistic about his team's chances of coming out and doing something at this event. I know that it's all about rhythm. It's all about executing what the coach wants. And, you know, we talked about it, and, you underlined it at the very beginning, and how important it was to give touches to different players and not be in a rush. And that's what they've done.
Jeff, they look, with the talent that is there for everybody to see. If they played that way for the whole of these, if they get through this for their duration here in Athens, they're going to be a very, very tough team to match up with, because if they keep moving the ball, they're giving very good players advantage. And that's all you can ask for as a coach. If you've got good players, give them advantage, and they're gonna score for you. They're gonna run good options.
So they've got the ball, they launch it, and Van Wijn off target, but a foul was called in the battle for the rebound. So it was Baigul with a little push down low.
Yeah. Hey, Van Wijn, Jeff, looks very confident in this Dijon lineup. He's come off screens, he's caught the ball, he's shot the ball with nice rhythm. He's moved his game on from that great start he had to his career at Antwerp.
There he misses the open 3, but they get the rebound. Van Wijn had a growth spurt when he was young. He said he grew like several inches one year, and he went from being from playing basketball to being a player that had a lot of potential. It's always nice when you have those growth spurts.
Yep.
Although looking at Holston play, you don't have to be a big guy to play this game. Now a foul's been called.
Holston gets called for he didn't roll after he had contact, he just moved on the back screen.
So Decker has come back into the game. He's going baseline now, but it doesn't matter because Weigl drills a three. And now a turnover gives it right back. And I think if anything, this is what makes this Türk Telekom team even more dangerous is the hype is there for the big names that have arrived, but it's those Turkish players that are coming out and making plays and not only protecting the lead, but perhaps extending it.
And we how many times do we say that, Jeff? You know, the balance between imported players and locally developed players is one of the most important things to get right, and Weigl showing that as well as anybody.
Korkmaz bounce pass to Gay, hands it back to Decker, and he was fouled as he went up. Boy, that was beautiful basketball by Türk Telekom.
No, they love to share it. I mean, that's, you know, draw two guys. Movement away from the ball is excellent. The timing on it is very good. It's not too early. And, well, that interview you talked about in terms of Wiltshire before talked about the quality that Coach Goran brings to this group. And he's obviously instilling a mentality with these guys as well as the technical execution, which says we're going to share the ball. If we do that, we can play with anybody, and it's a really impressive start. And their work rate is phenomenal.
Retained possession. There's Korkmaz again. Passes, this time the hands up from Dijon. They take it away. Holston pulls up for three. And the ball goes back over to Türk Telekom. Driving in and scoring with the layup with ease, Sykes. So back up to their biggest lead of the game now, 12 points. Holston again for three, and this time he rattles it in.
Well, I think they were thinking
he simply
of
has to make some shots.
Yeah, Axel Julien was coming in, and they've sat him down again as soon as Holston made the three. I actually like the combination of Julien and Holston in the backcourt together. It's a little small, but I think they really complement each other. They move the ball really well. That's poor defense. That's just poor, but it just gets beat, Jeff, all the wrong ways. And they're the sort of fouls, like they're already, again, 7:30 to go, they're already in the penalty. That's the second quarter. They're just giving up too many fouls too early.
Sykes being guarded by Holston. That's an entertaining one. And Sykes fouled as he goes up by Holston. Don't want to foul the jump shooter. Lennon might be regretting the fact that he left Holston in on this one.
Is that his third? That's his third foul, I think. So he got the offensive foul in the middle of the those three.
So 3 fouls indeed for David Holston. And it goes from bad to worse now for Dijon.
Yeah, they can't win without David Holston.
He's got 2.
Yeah, no. David Holston can't win without him is Dijon's problem. And then as a coach, you're faced with this dilemma. I've got to save him because he's got 3 fouls, but if I save him by the time he comes back in the game, is the lead too big? So it's a difficult one.
Well, back up to a 10-point lead, and right now you just feel like Dijon want to keep this thing close, but a turnover trying to inbound the ball is not going to help as Sykes comes out and they dodge a bullet, Dijon. And Chase Simon hits the three, and that's what they pay him to do. Took him a while, but he drills it. So that's his first 3 points. Now Decker hemmed in down low and ends up turning the basketball over. He got into no man's land. Watch this.
Yeah, he travels a fair way.
And just like that, when it looked like Dijon were a little bit of trouble, obviously Holston, it is trouble with him having 3 fouls. At least they've been able to stabilize things. Somebody's got to step up. Is it going to be Simon again? He gets in the paint, puts it up, this time misses, but good box out by Jacques Alingue. I think that's 3 fouls as well on him. So he goes out. It's kind of similar to the first game in that, you know, we saw Hapoel Jerusalem kind of hang around a little bit. Now let's see if Dijon can, hey, they score with a reverse layup. Alingue puts it up and gets it back to a 5-point game.
They do look so much better when they share it. They're not the same type of team as Türk Telekom, but when they share it, make 3-4 passes, they're getting nice looks.
Decker misses the three. Not sure that was the preferred option, especially that early in the shot clock. Now Simon gets inside, and look at that. Dijon have cut the deficit to just 3 points. Forcing the timeout from Türk Telekom. A little bit of a crisis situation over on the bench with Holston and 3 fouls, and all that Dijon do is come right back.
Well, like most of the stats we're going to see, the rebound totals pretty much, well, obviously in this instance, exactly locked at 13. We said right at the beginning of the game, if Dijon can keep this game a little broken, a little bit, play the game in as unstructured a way as they can, that would probably help them. And there you see Simon just getting it and attacking it before Türk Telekom's defense can set. And that they've been rewarded by some open looks, and they've got right back in it. And you could argue, you could say for the first time in the game, when you, as you said with Decker's three, the first time that they've come down and just taken a pass and taken a shot without really moving the ball. I don't think it's any surprise, or it's not a coincidence as such that when Wiltshire's out the game, they look less effective. And I think he's going to come straight back at this timeout. They opened it out to a 12-point lead, doubled it from the 6, and now it's back to 3. So we always say this is a game of runs, and Dijon have just had a really super run, and without Holston in the game.
Well, folks, it's the second quarter final of the Basketball Champions League here in Athens, and Dijon, having trailed by as many as 12 points, have come right back now and pulled to within 3, forcing Türk Telekom to take a timeout and to get some reinforcements back on the court. One of them is Ennis. He drives in. Another is Eric, who goes up. Looked like he had a chance. He missed it. Now Simon. Back to Julien for 3, and he ties the game at 31. What a turn, a change of fortunes. All of a sudden, a different look to this game. Wiltshire misses. Galilou with the rebound. Galilou, rather. And now Julien, no-look pass. Maybe got a little too fancy there. Ennis over to Wiltshire, and Wiltshire gets a little bit of love from the rim. Puts it back up by 3, Türk Telekom. Simon open for 3, takes the shot, trying to get the foul called, no whistle. Ennis quickly. How about that for a fast break?
Well, it's a great response.
And just like that.
Great response by Telekom. They take the timeout. And then Julien nails the three, and it looks everything's going the way of Dijon. They get a stop, and they get good option, followed by fast break. And quite rightly, Dijon take the timeout. But we've got a game on now, Jeff. If they're going to run, if both teams are going to run up and down, I think Dijon, if they keep making shots, which is the obvious thing to say, but if they can keep making shots in transition, we have a game now. We have a good one, really starting to warm up.
Yeah, you look at those shooting numbers, and I guess hindsight is always 20/20, but you know, Dijon trying to get something quick. Here they were successful with Simon, but Axel Julien with his bounce pass, obviously quickly trying to get a quick basket, turned it over, and then a quick three from Simon. If that's how they have to play, that's how they have to play. Julien, in that case, for example, makes the three. So it's kind of too hard to take issue.
Yeah, absolutely.
If they're rushing up shots.
If they run the floor and get balanced and have numbers, shots that they'd like to take, then they've got to take them in. I think they've got to take them in broken play. The one thing they haven't done, which they have done better than anybody else in the Basketball Champions League, is get points off their defense. They have 0 points off turnovers up until the last couple of minutes, and they've led the Basketball Champions League in points off turnovers. So it's something they do really well normally. The early foul trouble is really maybe a factor in that, but they've found a way to compete. They've just got to stay with it.
Johnson hands it off. Oh, beautiful basketball. Chassong with the finish. Really looks like Dijon have grown. Playing some nice basketball. Abdoulaye Loom rebounds the miss, and here's Dijon again with a chance to tie it with a three. I know they're going to do the alley-oop to Hans van Wijn. Wow.
Great recognition. They had Sykes sealed down low. No way he was going to stop that. Super weight on the pass. Got to love the way they're going to. If they're going to play this way, it's going to be fun.
Up and down game right now, folks. Ennis puts it on the deck, hands it off to Eric. He's going to be tough to stop, and he is fouled. Boy, Van Wijn has got some hops, doesn't he? He was hanging in the air, and it was well spotted to get that two. One of the plays of the Final Eight so far, without question. Eric takes his time and makes the first free throw. And the second is good as well to push the lead back to 3. And now hold on Baigul, trying to deny the basketball to Julien. Johnson open. He's hit one today. Make it 2. Another three-pointer.
That's nice ball movement again. That's Johnson's spot. He's 2 for 5. He's had 4 of them from that same spot. So they do a nice job finding him.
Now Wiltshire. Beautiful drive by the Canada international. The former Gonzaga star. And Julien again, his bounce pass intended. It leads to an easy fast break dunk by Michael Eric. Unselfish Ennis. He'll take the assist.
Second sloppy pass by Julien, wasn't it? There was the wide open pick and pop. He just didn't make the pass.
Oh, tough move from Fun Wine. Wow. We're starting to see him in all his glory. We've seen his three-pointer tonight. Now we've seen a couple of high-flying moves down low. Ennis, oh, beautiful pass. Beautiful no-look to Baigul. Now Julien launches it from deep. Well, I guess he kind of makes up from some of the mistakes. Play confident, but maybe play smart. Three-pointers for Julien, actually. Now Wiltshire. And again, kind of this time gets one to fall. Ball goes all the way around the rim. Now, Mark, you were talking about it. Can Dijon keep scoring points at this rate? They pass it back. Fun Wine, a little bit short. The long rebound to him. Julien, he feels it. He puts it up. It's his fourth three. And goodness me, somebody call the fire department. He is hot. He is on fire.
Well, if he's starting like that, Jeff, the answer is yes. But it's still
You're not
a
sure he can keep it up, right?
No, I'm not sure
Nobody
that Dijon
boxes
can keep
out
this
Michael
up.
Eric.
It's become a very up and down, soft. It's become soft this game, and people are just scoring points. But it's fun to watch.
Here he is again, Julien. The pass this time to Johnson. Johnson, well, he was able to get his feet set, but now Decker almost turned it over. Final 25 seconds. Very interesting quarterfinal between Türk Telekom and JDA Dijon. Now Ennis. Will Dijon hold it for one? Yes, they will. Or at least they'll try to. Six, 5, 4. Julien, why not? He feels it. Oh, boy. Well, you can't blame him, although maybe he would have had an open teammate somewhere, but he was feeling it, so he launched it. And at halftime, we've got a barn burner, folks. Türk Telekom leading it 49-46 over Dijon.
Well, Dijon's stats have got steadily better throughout that first half. And you've got to love the way, if they keep it as a broken game like this, if it's up and down, if it's not as structured as it started, they have a real shot at this. They've closed it to a 3-point game after trailing by as many as 12. And Julien with his 12, but Van Wim for me and Chassong in that sort of like 3-4 slot for Dijon have been impressive. They've done a really nice job. Van Wim has definitely developed his game and moved it on. And I think they've got a chance here, Dijon.
Well, you go back to the start of the game, and it was really all Türk Telekom early on as they came out and shared the basketball, one pass after another. And big man Michael Eric was active down low. And they jumped out to a 12-point lead, but then Chassong came out, got involved. Hans van Wijn, that was his three-pointer that we were talking about from the right corner. And then Dijon started to dig in. They were like, we're good enough to be here. We're gonna turn this into a game. And that was maybe the first three-pointer for Julien. Korkmaz came in and made a great impact coming right off the bench as Coach Gorin started to rest some of his starters. And then Sykes, when needed, goes to the basket. But overall, you know, one of the big storylines, you know, we place so much importance on Holston. He's got the 3 fouls, but I guess from an encouraging standpoint, you know, they've been able to do this without him.
Yep.
You know, basketball, there's no I in team. You need to have many players at this level.
And if the game is open in the way that it's become, then Dijon have players who can play that way. I mean, it's very, you know, it's quick, it's broken. It's before the defense is set, they're coming up with shots they want. And because that's the way they like to play, they want to play, then they're done really well. Down the defensive end, though, they've just got to keep Türk Telekom in front of them. If they don't overreact to some of the actions, if they just play good, solid man-to-man defense and keep them in front of them, then that will take away some of the options that they've got. It's you know, you're going to see Dijon's top scorer being Julien. He's just shot the ball really well. But for me, the whole key is down the defensive end. If Dijon can keep Türk Telekom in front and not get too carried away, then the benefit they're going to get from Julien's threes, it won't be coming back. They'll be able to build a lead. And it's been interesting to see if Türk Telekom can start breaking down Dijon, if they can contain them off the options they're getting in the sets that they're running. But Julien, French international, why are we surprised? If you're on the French national team, you can shoot the basketball, and he has demonstrated that as well as anybody in that first half.
Well, what do you think the coach of Türk Telekom is thinking right now, Mark? You know, is he thinking, how have we allowed JDA Dijon to hang around? You know, twice we had double-digit leads, and right now we just have a three-point advantage.
No, it's,
anyway,
yeah, it's. I think he's thinking, if we get the ball to inside our system, if we run what we want to run, it doesn't matter what we do, because Michael Eric is doing a great job on the glass, because that's where he's picking up. You don't need to run anything for him. He's low maintenance when it comes to, you know, when you're running your offense, you just send him to the right areas and he's going to rebound. You don't have to run a set to get him the ball. He's doing a really nice job around the ring, and he's doing a nice job on the glass. So you should run. That team runs with confidence because they've got a good rebounder on the inside. So if you're running nice stuff, if you're getting him just on the glass, one-on-one, he's going to be effective, especially if he has a David Holston mismatch. But going back to your question, Jeff, I think that they've stepped back defensively and allowed Dijon to get into transition. They're not the first team in the Basketball Champions League that has suffered from Dijon transition, because they love to play that way. They've got to stop the ball and get Dijon in the half court.
Well, there's the kind of the bird's eye view of this magnificent arena here, where the final late is being played. Now some top plays to view.
Running with a rebound, and now
Well, 49-46, the lead for Türk Telekom over Dijon here in the second quarterfinal of the Basketball Champions League Final 8. And while it looked perhaps for a couple of moments there in the first half like Türk Telekom might get the wind in their sails and just pull away, Dijon have done a great job of showing that fight that they were famous for all season long, to come back and really make this a basketball game. Boy, what a high-scoring game it's been, 49-46. And we're at halftime here. The first game was won, Hapoel Jerusalem falling against San Pablo Burgos. Those two teams met during the regular season and split their encounters. This time they met in the quarterfinals, and it was San Pablo Burgos just with a roaring win in that game, led by Dejan Kravic, who had 18 points and 10 rebounds. So Burgos awaits the winner of this game, and you know, it's already shaping up to be a terrific semifinal. Mark, I don't, you know, this Final 8, there's just so many questions about it. Obviously, no fans allowed because of the coronavirus pandemic and trying to make sure that, you know, you stop the spread of the virus. But nevertheless, you know, I've said it before and I'll say it again, the Basketball Champions League made the commitment to have this Final 8 because they wanted to finish the season. And I just think it's an amazing decision. We've already really watched some intriguing basketball.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, right from the fact that we had those two last 16 games that, you know, were competitive, and you had those two places to fill. And like fans, obviously, Athens is such a great city. It would be tremendous to have the fans here and the visiting fans here. And we would love, you know, to enjoy that Final 4, Final 8 sort of atmosphere and everything else. But fans are watching this all over Europe in terms of picking it up on whatever TV channel or whatever outlet they got the chance to watch it. And that's just a testament to the determination, I suppose, of the Basketball Champions League to make this happen, because it would have been very easy to say, hey, it's too difficult. But the clubs and the Basketball Champions League, I think that by the time we get through to Sunday, it's already a success that it's taking place. But we're going to have 3 days of qualifications, quarters and semis, and then, you know, the final and the third and fourth game. And that's the end that Basketball Champions League for 19 years, 2020, 2019, 2020 needs. And no better place than Athens to stage it. And okay, we're missing fans, but we're still getting great basketball.
Yeah, the fans are there. They're just having to watch. But it's like that all over the world. So this is the situation. We're dealing with it, and it is just tremendous to be able to watch some live basketball here in Athens for this break. So just as a reminder, in year 1 of the Basketball Champions League, Iberostar Tenerife winning the title at home, beating Monaco in the final. Then in year 2, it was Ike Athens. Excuse me, it was Iberostar Tenerife beating Banvit at home. And then in year 2, it was Ike over Monaco.
Dijon is very, very famous for its defense, but you have scored 46. You think that you can keep on with this pace?
I completely agree with you. Normally, you don't let the opponents at 50 points at the halftime. And you know the talents, and Ankara is an offensive team. If you continue like that, you lost the game. You need to refine our defense, and quickly during 20 minutes. That I don't know. I spoke about that in my locker room. I'm at Mayor, but I wish. But we will see.
Thank you very much, Coach.
Thank you.
Coach, 46 points in defense are a big number for your team and the habits that you have.
First of all, 46 points is too high for us because we are the defensive team, and in the first half we didn't do what we worked. So this 46 points is too high for us, and the second half, Dijon is a very organized team, and we must be ready for these organizations, and we must be tough.
Thank you very much, Coach.
Well, it's interesting. We were talking about the point score. Just let me finish that previous thought. Year 2, it was Ike winning over Monaco here in Athens, and in year 3, obviously, Virtus Bologna winning in Antwerp and beating Iberostar Tenerife. So this is year 4, and we're going to have another champion. Could be a familiar champion. Could be Ike. Could be Iberostar Tenerife again. Who knows? We'll wait and see. But yeah, so both of those coaches, too many points have been allowed. What's going on, and you were talking about that from the very beginning. That you believe that Türk Telekom could race out and win a game that by scoring 100 points, but the Dijon would not be able to keep up with them. But
yeah, but both
it remains to be seen, doesn't it?
Yeah, both coaches are going to say we've given up too many points. That's and where the game is now, if one of these teams can keep the opponent to 30, then they've got a great chance of winning. That's the problem that Türk Telekom have now, is they've given Dijon the chance. They're in the game at the half, and you've always got that. If it becomes an up and down offensive game, you make the shots at the right time, you get a chance to win.
Well, second half underway. Türk Telekom with possession. Wiltshire is not going to wait around. He's going to launch one as he's open, and Alexandre Chassong grabs the rebound.
That's really interesting for me. They almost like chased. They almost doubled, and that means that's a travel. They almost and it gave Telecom the shot, but it really didn't give Telecom the shot they were probably trying to run. It took them out of what they were trying to get, and Wiltshire got an open look, but it wasn't a shot he was in rhythm, ready to take. So that's an interesting. If Dijon start like coming up with a little junk, should we say, defensively, mixing it up, it could be interesting to see how Türk Telekom deal with that.
And it'll be interesting to see how they deal with Eric. Here's, again, Wiltshire open. He's just, you know what, he might miss one, but if he keeps taking shots, he's going to make them.
And the difference on that one
Ultimately.
is that they chased him down, but he didn't then just take what they gave him. He wasn't ready. He let the flyby go, gets his feet set. He always looks like he has lots of time.
Johnson spins, puts it up. Oh boy, that was silky smooth.
Wow. It's like an all-star game at the moment. People just firing in points. Someone's going to play some defense here.
Sykes goes behind his back. Decides to launch it.
That is not going to please coach. That is not what Türk Telekom has done well at earlier in this game.
Yep, not passing the ball. Going one-on-one. Simon, nice play. Back to Chassong, and then Chassong catches it up high, misses the open jump shot. He caught the pass from Van Wijn. Ennis. Oh, fade away with the shot clock winding down. Nobody boxes out. Decker, and he's going to get a three-point play opportunity.
Chassong's just got to get that rebound. He had inside spot. Just got to get after it. Great job by Decker to pull down the offensive board. He's a very, very good free throw shooter. So, you know, you'd expect him to make the and one, and all of a sudden it's out to a 7-point game, although he misses it. And it's not as if Türk Telekom have played that great to build the lead. They've given up a couple of poor decisions, really.
Van Wijn, well, left his feet. He's not going to shoot it. He's going to try to pass it, and it was just an awkward. I don't know if he thought Chassong was going to be back outside. Anyway, it's another turnover. Ennis whips it back out to Wiltshire. Shot clock down to 4. Wiltshire knows it, and Oh, again, an offensive rebound and putback. That's 2 in a row for Sam Dekker.
Well, they got caught again because they're switching screens. They got caught again with Julian trying to guard Dekker and keep him off the glass. That's the downside. You have to accept any mismatch if you're going to do that.
Now Chase Simon misses from the left corner. And Dijon starting the third quarter in a similar fashion to how they began the game. Eric called for the travel.
Yeah, he's going to catch it and then change his pivot foot. Destroyed the highlight, though, unfortunately. You're right, Jeff. It's exactly where Dijon was at the beginning of the game. They've given up offensive rebounds, turned the ball over a couple of times. And Türk Telekom haven't really had to play as well as they did at the early part of the game to build the lead.
Oh, beautiful take by Van Wijn. Great challenge by Eric, but then excellent crashing of the boards by Chassong.
Well, super the way he faked the handoff and went hard, but did everything, all the tough stuff did well, and then just missed the, well, to all extents, a layup.
Wiltshire. He is definitely getting in his threes tonight. Drive. Simon denied. Players falling all over the court. Ennis, oh boy, it was going to say poetry in motion, but he missed the shot. And then the reach and the foul. And Goran knows that was an opportunity going begging there. Ennis should have made that layup.
Well, the first, sorry, Jeff.
I was going to say Kyle Wiltshire, 4-10 from three-point range. So you're going to live with that, aren't you? 40%.
Well, you're going to live with 40%. The first part of this third quarter has almost like been a repeat of the whole of that first half. You know, great start, Telecom build a lead. All of a sudden it comes a bit disjointed, and Dijon are right back in it with the basketball.
Oh, goodness gracious. Is that what he meant to do? Is that a shot or an alley-oop pass? Chassong, or Van Wijn just flushed it. And now Van Wijn goes and rejects it out of bounds. Boy, is he a high flyer.
There's a guy on the bench who's put that down as an assist anyway. So I think if you're friendly with the stats man, it's an assist. But then both ends of the floor, though, Van Wijn got a straight back, gets a piece of it. The emotional swings here in the game are just fascinating. You know, Telecom, a number of times I think both of us have felt Telecom starting to establish a bit of dominance, and then Dijon comes straight back at him.
Mark Van Wijn now with 9 points, and I'll tell you what, every one of them has been scored in spectacular fashion tonight. Ennis had the move, just missed the shot. Holston into Johnson, and the two-handed flush cuts that deficit back to 2. Sykes drives in, and a foul called on Chase Simon. And they really do seem to, they just have not been able to slam the door shut on this Dijon team. And Dijon just seem to have that bit of self-belief about them tonight that kind of makes you wonder if they're going to pull this thing off.
Well, they've got to keep the game broken the way it is. I mean, even then, yeah, it's a great decision by Sykes to go to the hoop, but he's making a shot that he's got to work for. It's a shot in transition that's normally a good shot, but it's, you know, Dijon don't mind that shot. They'll challenge that shot. It's a broken play type shot. It's not in a structured, and that's got to be the way Dijon believe, and I think they're right, have a chance to win this game, even if it means it's 100-99. And even though both coaches will hate the fact that teams are scoring, it gives Dijon a chance at winning the game.
Van Wijn in the open floor, 3-on-2 now. Chase Simon open, drills it. I don't know. Wouldn't be surprised. Maybe we will see 100 points for both teams tonight. Three-point attempt, and this misses, and a foul down low in the battle for the rebound. Eric causes so many problems just being on the court.
This is, you know, if you're a Dijon fan, if you're on the Dijon coaching staff, you just have to accept that there's going to be those situations on the glass. If you're switching this much, if you're chasing this much, if you switch onto Eric, you've just got to box him out and try your best to box him out. But they're getting so much benefit out of playing this way, they're going to have to accept that.
Weigel puts it on the deck, goes right at Dijon and missed everything, so it's going to be Dijon basketball.
And that's the benefit. Then when you do it that way and you end up with that false drive at the end of the shot clock because they haven't been able to run stuff and get the shots they want, the switch or the hard shows have really disrupted Turk Telecom's offense.
Oh, nice dish and the dunk. So Alenge puts his imprint on this game. He's played well tonight.
It's just a super pass. Super pass.
We talked about his scoring, but he's handing the ball off right now. It doesn't matter who scores. And Turk Telecom, you can't help but feel like they're not getting the most out of what they have right now, but that's all credit to Dijon.
And you've got to say, Jeff, that the adjustments they've made defensively and the fact that they will switch, the fact that they will chase, the fact that they'll hard show, and in fact, they've almost trapped the ball screen now and again. That means that Turk Telecom have got to make a different read than they would normally make. Now, that shouldn't really disrupt them as much as it has, but the tempo of the game's been set now. They're going to struggle to actually impose themselves on the game, and you just got to give so much credit to the way Dijon have made those adjustments. Yeah, they've given up some offensive rebounds. Yeah, they've given up some easy ones now and again. But overall, they've picked that's the way the game's going to be played. They've made that decision, and Turk Telecom are having to try and win the game the way Dijon want the game to be played. And that's not how the game started. They started the game moving the ball beautifully, getting the options they wanted, and they just haven't. They can't impose themselves that way. That's Dijon's defense and the style they've put on the floor, which has made this game absolutely fascinating.
Well, the winner of this game will face San Pablo Burgos in the semifinals of the Basketball Champions League for the 2019-2020 season. And Weigel fouled up high by Hans van Wijn.
Jeff, that's the other thing that's a good news story for Dijon. We're now there's only 3 minutes to go in the third, and they've only just reached the penalty, whereas 3 minutes gone in the previous 2 quarters, and they'd already been in the penalty on the foul count. So everything is really going Dijon's way.
Abdoulaye Loum goes up for the board. Decker tumbles to the court. See if they can take advantage. Johnson, he had a shot blocked by Ennis. Ennis spotting up in the right corner. Good rebound by Gayic.
That's a huge rebound by Gayic.
Oh, nice spin by Ennis. He is so silky smooth, really. I mean, it just looks, he makes it look so easy. Hasn't really shot the ball that well tonight, though, as you can see. Abdoulaye Loum, and Abdoulaye Loum's large. He puts Dijon in front.
Wow.
Boy, the unpredictability of this Basketball Champions League every year. And this Türk Telekom team right now, you can see the looks on the faces of some of the players there. Sykes, for example, and kind of like, what's going on here? We should have been further ahead, and we're losing.
Yep, 1 from 8 from the 3-point line.
12.5 minutes remaining.
It's 1 from 8 in this quarter, and that's all because they're out of rhythm because of the way that Dijon are playing their defense.
Well, they whip it to the corner. Decker misses, and great rebound by Abdullah Loom. Got it away from Samet Gayic. Still haven't seen Holston take over like he can, and now he turns the basketball over. So another missed opportunity. Holston just dropped an F-bomb on the court after that turnover. Now Gayic. And now the turnover by Türk Telekom. And now the turnover again. Sloppy pass by Johnson. And now another, boy, talking about sloppiness. This game has really descended into a sloppy affair.
No structure at all now.
But that's to Dijon's advantage. And there's Abdullah Loom. And the lead now 3 points. That's the biggest lead of the game. Abdullah Loom gets his hand on the ball, bats it to the corner. And then Sam Decker fouls Holston.
I don't see how that's not
unsportsmanlike.
Has to be an unsportsmanlike, right? He's behind him. He has no real opportunity to steal the ball. He just stopped the clock. That has to be unsportsmanlike.
That's what they're talking about. They're going to go look at it.
To be fair,
this is that case where they probably. Yeah, they don't need to look at it. Watch this.
No.
Well, he was playing the ball.
I think Holston's smart enough here. I think actually Holston almost slows up, almost.
I don't think they're going to give it.
That's no way. In my opinion, I'm not a referee, but that's not a genuine attempt to play the ball.
Okay, let me see again.
So he doesn't play.
I don't know.
He doesn't play the ball because he wants just to stop.
Okay, you're right, Mark. They're going to call the unsportsmanlike.
See, 7 in a sportsmanlike foul, 11 in shooting. Let's go to show. Yep, correct.
Yeah, it has to. And I think, it's if you don't make a genuine play for the ball, that's what people used to do, isn't it? Stop the clock, stop the break. And this gives them a chance to go up 5 with the ball.
Oh, yeah, no, from that angle, yes, definitely. I mean, that was the same angle, but we saw it closer, and he didn't come close to the ball. He just kind of grabbed him on the side. Wow.
Could be a 5-point game with the ball. They could end up with an 8-point lead going into the last 40 seconds of the last 30 seconds of this third quarter. And then, you mentioned, Jeff, the look and the beginning of self-doubt with that Türk Telekom team. Well, that's going to get really amplified if they go in 6, 7, 8 down after 3.
Boy, that was a dangerous pass by Johnson.
Yeah.
Now Holston launches. Boy, had that gone, that would have been an 8-point game. That was a big miss. Final 12 seconds here of the third quarter. Oh boy, beautiful drive and shot by Kamar Baldwin. Haven't said his name much tonight. And that's how the third quarter in, so a little bit of hope there for Türk Telekom at the end. A little bit of a momentum shot, perhaps, by Baldwin, but Dijon lead at 65-62 over Türk Telekom.
Well, everything now evening up. If you think back to where we were statistically on the percentages after the first quarter, the Türk Telekom were twice as effective percentage-wise than Dijon. It's such a hard ask for Türk Telekom, but if they just execute what they're supposed to execute, just run what they're supposed to run, even though Dijon are disrupting them with the type of defense, they will still get reads and options. It's just so hard when they're chasing and scrambling at the defensive end to stay with it, because you end up with easy early shots that you think are good shots, but they're the shots that Dijon want you to take. They're not necessarily the shots that Türk Telekom want to take. They were taking those at the beginning of the game, but the whole tempo has got quicker, and that suits Dijon.
Okay, you just saw it again, Mark. Was that a pass or was that a shot? Looked like a pass to me, actually.
Oh, it's definitely. If you're a Dijon fan, that's an assist. Yeah, they'll take the assist. That's where you buy the stats man a drink after the game, I think.
As good as that was, I thought the other pass to Van Wijn was the play of the game.
Where he
just kind of like threw it and was guarded, and I think it was more of a traditional alley-oop. It wasn't a dunk, if memory serves me correctly. Look at this. This is a beautiful play by Enes.
I still think Türk Telekom have the talent to win this game. I think Türk Telekom, if they have the talent, they have a talent here. They could win the whole thing. But at this point in time, they've got to find a way to not be disrupted.
Well, from the left, and an offensive rebound, and Holston. Gayak made the mistake of bringing the basketball down, and Holston was right there to steal it away. Johnson open for three. Oh boy, what a huge turnaround that was.
Wow.
Gayak basically had a layup for the putback and had the ball stolen by Holston. Well, he's going with some of his reserves. Here he is again, Korkmaz. And while I was saying he was a confident player in that first half, you have to wonder about that kind of shot in that situation. That is awful. Holston dumps it off to Loom. Or excuse me, dumps it off to Alenge. Here he goes.
Coach Goran's got to find a unit here that can control Dijon. At the moment, it's Dijon that are breaking down the person on the ball, which generates them rotation. And like in that situation, Holston is so good at finding passes that once they're in a rotation and once they're chasing, he's finding open guys, whether they be at the ring like they were then, or for the open shot like they were on the previous possession. It comes down to Türk Telekom getting control of the game. If it stays like this, I think Dijon have the way to win the game.
Well, again, for the second time, Baldwin. There's Baldwin picking up the foul out on the perimeter. Baldwin's definitely given them a little bit of impetus offensively with this shot here. A little pump fake. And scores with the little fade. Holston launches for three. Just can't get that shot to drop tonight. Korkmaz. Now Wiltshire. What will he do? Backs up his man Loom, and Abdoulaye Loom does a great job. Holston 1 of 6 from the floor, 1 of 5 from three-point range. Here he is putting it up, and both teams scrapping for the basketball. Linge pulls it down, gives it over to Julien, and Türk Telekom player is grabbing his ankle, it appears.
Oh, there you go. Just rolled it as he tried to compete on the glass. Looks a painful one. Yeah, looks a painful one.
Well, in a tournament, a final 8 like this, you know, that could spell the end of his. Excuse me, that is Gulaslan. I thought it was Korkmaz. It was number 8. It was number 6. Erdi Gulaslan had only played 3.5 minutes, so he goes out. Those are never nice.
No.
Those bring back some bad memories. Oh, quick pass down low. Oh, good hesitation from Julien. And puts it up. And now Dijon leading it by 7 points with less than 7.5 minutes remaining.
This game never ceases to amaze, does it? Because there are so many ways that you can play this game.
Wiltshire backs his way up, misses. Decker grabs the ball, gets it to Wiltshire, and then the tip, and the basket is good by Decker.
So early in the game, all that move the ball and screen and get options for each other. Now, pass, try and back someone in, try and beat them one-on-one, throw up a tough one and crash the glass. It's pretty much what Türk Telekom are giving us at the minute.
Johnson steps back. It's good. The three-pointer. Unbelievable. I have to say 16 quiet points for Johnson. 4 of 9 from three-point range. And now the reach and the steal. And Julien has it taken away by Decker. What a play. And then Loom goes up.
No, the ball already hit the ring. It's fair game.
And then Holston drives in and is fouled.
Jeff, the possession before just sums up Dijon and the way they played. They showed hard on the screen, their recovery, and then the recovery was just tremendous in terms of straight down the lane, into the passing lane. They picked it off, and they'd have been so unlucky if Decker had managed to finish the play. And now they've got a chance to lead this by double digits. And it's Türk Telekom who've got the 3 team fouls. Dijon haven't committed. The whole game is completely reversed. And that's Dijon's defense has just changed the way this game is being played. And Türk Telekom have not been able to dominate the game or force their style on it. And you just got to give Dijon, regardless what the outcome is, Dijon so much credit, coach so much credit for the way they've changed the way this game's being played.
Yeah, you give them credit, but I mean, do you apportion any blame to Telekom in this situation?
Well, I think this is where we get into the discussion about it's early in the season, they can't just stay with what they run. They've just got that. Yeah, you have to, because they've enabled themselves or allowed themselves to be forced into this type of game. The decision by Decker or Wiltshire to try and back it in. The first time they've actually run anything like a set for at least 3, 4, 5, 6 possessions, they get a foul because they've run something. Decker's got a chance to slash to the basket, and they're on the free throw line. This is, there's still plenty of time here for Telekom to assert themselves. What did they have? 49 points at the half, 67 points now, and so they've only scored 18 points in 15 minutes. And that's down to Dijon's defense. just taking them out of the way they want to play the game.
I like the sense of urgency from Decker, though. I mean, you watch him play, and you're like, okay, these guys aren't out of it yet.
Oh, no way they're out of it. They got so much talent. They can score in a hurry.
Still a lot of work for Dijon to do. Van Wijn back in the game. He's going right at Decker. He's got him on his back, puts it up. And maybe a quick shot. I don't know. Maybe you shouldn't worry about the clock too much at this point. Certainly not the game clock, but I mean even the shot clock.
Yeah.
And you don't feel like that's how Dijon play anyway. Sykes puts it up, and well, certainly nothing done and dusted from this standpoint.
Oh, no, absolutely. They won't worry. You know, if they're going to give up fouls, Dijon, give them up in that situation. You know, give them up in a rebound situation. Give them up in a mismatch situation if they're going to try and keep the tempo high. They've still got 2 fouls to give. They have a lot of things going for them at the moment, Dijon, but Telekom still have that talent on the floor.
Great pass, wide open shot from the right. Wiltshire just did not nail it. I mean, he's got to do better if he's going to be putting that one up. He was well short. Chase Simon. Chassong back outside to Julien. And both teams really struggling to put the basketball in the basket right now.
Wow. Chassong and Van Wijn just going to work on the glass. They get the benefit of the foul there. Telekom now in the penalty, and there's still 4.5 to go.
So all bets are off for this Dijon team if they keep going at this rate. Unbelievable. They're going to start believing in their chances. Now Simon with 9 points. They go up by 10 with less than 4.5 minutes remaining. They're going to believe anything is possible if they come back and win this basketball game. Having trailed twice by 12 points. Great play by Decker, though, to get it down low.
Did a great job on the glass, keep it alive, and then they rewarded him with the 2. Decker, you said it, Jeff. He's one of the guys out there who actually looks like he's going to have to play hard to win this. His urgency is trying to drag his team back in.
Absolutely, but you know, defensively and maybe some type of full court pressure. I mean, I'm waiting for Türk Telekom to do something a little bit different. If everything else is broken down offensively for what they want to do, well then get out and scrap a little bit.
Yep.
More maybe full court defensively, because you've got the guards to do it with Sykes, with Ennis, with Decker.
But now you find yourself in the penalty. You're 8 down. There'll probably be 10 down after Julia makes both of these. It's there's still plenty of time. But you're right. There's not a case. It's not about scoring for them now. They've got to find ways to get stops. And meanwhile, Jeff, Dijon still have 2 fouls to give. They're actually in a very, any indicator you can think of now means Dijon are in a very, very good place. And
they're not tagging me. You know what I'm saying? They're not tagging me.
They've got to come up with something good here and quick, and then get a stop, and all of a sudden they're right back in it. 20 assists for Dijon is a great number. And Türk Telekom had 17, but if you looked at how they were broken down between the first half and second half, a lot of those 17s were early in the game. And Dijon, can't say enough good things about them.
Come and slip. Right side penetration. Okay. Right side, Sam will be here. Kyle on the top, Tyler corner. Let's go. Let's go.
Well, they had to win a game 3 against Nizhny Novgorod just to make it to the Final 8. They did that, but they've, I think, built some confidence with a good start in France. They've arrived, and despite falling behind early, they showed tremendous fighting qualities. And I dare say, I mean, their confidence is growing. And a team like this, like Dijon can be about as dangerous as any team if they can come from behind and win this one. I mean, their confidence will be soaring. Still work to do though. 3:40 remaining. Türk Telekom. What is the plan? Wiltshire gets it down low, and he is fouled by Chase Simon. Well, they'll settle for that. It'll stop the clock, and Wiltshire will go to the line. So Wiltshire makes both. It's back to 8. Where's the pressure now? Julien. Over to Simon. That would have been a dagger. But instead, it's the offensive rebound over to Decker. Down low, and he puts it up and in. And all of a sudden, now it's a 6-point game with 3 minutes remaining. And Laurent Legnon calls timeout.
The score is 87-4.
Well, Decker has just really refused to bend here late. And he's a great competitor. I remember from his final 4 days at Wisconsin. Spent some time in the NBA, but obviously he is going to play a lot of basketball for the rest of his life, wherever.
Jeff, he's genuinely, it looks, you know, from the, body language and intensity and whatever else, he's the one guy that realizes that, hey, we've got to step it up here. We've got to do something defensively. We've got to, we've got to be the aggressor. And he has been, well, the last few plays, he has been the guy really almost dragging his team back into this. The last thing Dijon can do, though, is try and kill the game. They just can't, like they showed on the last possession, they're not, 3 minutes is almost too long for them. They can't just, unless Holston gets going and makes some tough shots. They ended up with a really tough corner 3 and there's no chance on the offensive glass. So I think they've still got to be aggressive. If they get something early, they can take it. There's still plenty of time in the game. I don't think they can put this game away by managing time.
No, I agree. They just got to keep playing.
Yep.
And I guess that's why Coach Legnon called timeout. Well, Julien, well, speak of the devil, just you be you. And that's what he is. He takes the three-pointer.
Where does anybody in Türk Telekom think it's a good idea to go away from someone who's 5 from 7 from the three-point line and just rotate away when they ran nothing to get it? That's just a massive defensive breakdown. It's a travel.
And now traveling on Sykes. Yep, I think it's not going to be make for good viewing. I don't know where the defensive breakdown, who it was that sagged on that play, but because if there's one thing that we know about Axel Julien, it doesn't matter if he's on or if he's off. If he's open, he's going to shoot it.
Yeah. Wow, 5 from 7, and one of those was the prayer. The only other one of the other misses was the prayer before the end of the quarter. So it's not as if he's missing.
There he is again. Well, I guess his ability to make those three-pointers, makes you live with a shot like that.
Yeah.
Not a great shot. Good challenge, good drive by Ennis, fouled by Hans van Wijn with 1:56 remaining.
He's it's just
a lot of ball though by Hans van Wijn.
A lot of ball, little body, probably always going to get caught. If he could calm a little bit sooner and get out that charge circle, the referee might give him a little bit more of the benefit. But hey, make him earn them from the free throw line.
Tyler Ennis makes both free throws. Well, they're not giving up the ghost yet. It's a 7-point game, almost a turnover there. Chase Simon, and in fact he does. He steps out of bounds.
Still a 3-possession game. And with 1:50 to go, you got to think Dijon could get one more score. They're in a very strong position. Still love the way they're chasing on the defense, though. It's just not giving them anything that they want.
Ennis pulls up from right behind the charity stripe and drills it. Gets it back to 5. Is there enough magic in this Türk Telekom team to complete the comeback? Now Holston. What you can't do in this situation is turn the ball over. You want to take that shot clock down as far as possible, possibly. Oh, Holston almost did, and Julian throws it off the back of the rim. Now Baigul. And he goes hard to the rim, and Chasong is not having any of it.
That's, again, Chasong just does a great job here. I mean, it doesn't foul. It's so easy for him to foul here.
Well, Türk Telekom want to talk about it, so they call timeout. The winner of this game will advance to face San Pablo Burgos in the semifinals on Friday. Well, you've seen all 4 teams, Mark. I mean, who's your bet to get to the final out of the 4 teams that you've watched?
At this point in time, you'd say, well, Burgos were that impressive, but you've got to play hard. If Dijon win this, that Burgos and Dijon will become a very entertaining game, but I think they may have, like I thought, Türk Telekom may have too much offense for Dijon. I would, out of every team, I'd back Burgos to outscore everybody in this half of the draw, because they look so impressive early on in the earlier game. But Dijon, I just love the way that you maximize your talent. You find a way to use the talent you have. So you've now got Julian and Holston on the floor. It's not exactly the biggest 1-2 guard spots, but they're quick. Everybody rotates. They make this game very scrappy. And Türk Telekom just haven't been able to cope with it. They've just... if Türk Telekom come back and win, hats off to them, but Dijon have given themselves such a great chance here.
Well, into Wiltshire. Now he backs up into the corner, or into the lane rather, and scores with the left hand over Van Wijn. That was an impressive move. And now it's game on once again. It was actually the whiff of overtime in there. I wonder if that might happen. Holston dribbles in, takes it back out. Holston doesn't need to do too much here. Well, he's going to put it up from 3. And you have to wonder if that was what they needed. I don't think he's lived up to the hype tonight that we gave him, at least with his shooting. And now Ennis is fouled by Simon.
That's a great job by Ennis, though. He had to go early because that means they'll get a chance to get the ball back. It's a shooting foul, so he will go to the line, and that, you know, they will get it back. They do have a chance to make it a 1-point game. That's, you know, Ennis's awareness was excellent there.
Now these are, talk about pressure free throws. Well, the level that he's been playing at over the years, probably nothing, but boy, that was big time.
He's looking fairly relaxed, Jeff. Oh, no, and now he's breathing. Now he's breathing heavy.
Oh, just nothing but net. That is a player that has taken 1 million free throws in his life in practice. 83, 82 now Dijon. They have left the door open. And I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced by Dijon.
No, not at the moment, because they've started to stand still. And Holston's dribbled the ball far too much. But now there's a decision for coach. Does he go end line or does he go front court? If he goes end line, it's literally just, he takes most of the time out the clock. If he goes in the front court with a 14-second reset, he's going to give Türk Telekom an eternity to get a shot. So, you know, maybe he should take it on the end line and just try and use a full 24. But
ordinarily, Mark, I would say the ball has to be in David Holston's hands, but he has not looked like the same David Holston, at least in this game.
I mean,
are you running to get the ball inside to Simon, or are you trying to?
I think Holston needs the ball, but I think the key for them is, and this is where I think Türk Telekom may get broken down, is if Holston shares it, Türk Telekom are going to have to be very disciplined to stay and not try and overhelp on Holston. If someone overhelps, he's got to find the open guy and then trust the other guy to make the shot. I'm not sure if Türk Telekom will be disciplined enough to all stay at home with their player. If they get any help, they're going to get an open look here. I think Julian with the ball is a much better, is a good option, but Holston's got to come get it.
Maybe somebody's going to step up and make a play defensively for Telekom, come up with a steal. Anything can happen here in the final 18 seconds.
They're just leaving it with Holston.
6-second differential, 5 now on the shot clock for Holston. He puts it up from 3 and puts up an air ball. Well, I hate to say it, but I saw that coming. It just has not been his night.
And you know what? No one else moved, Jeff. No one else even contemplated they were going to get a pass. So everybody could stay at home. It was one-on-one, and he never created any space. He's going up against a very, very good defender. And they've done a great job at sharing the ball, penetrate, kick, where they built the lead. And now they've got to play 7 seconds of defense, both teams in the penalty. Wow.
Well, Dijon have got to attack the basket, surely. And probably Ennis. Here he goes. He crosses midcourt. Now he pulls up his dribble. Wiltshire has it. Oh, no. He launches it. Unbelievable. Well, he misses it off the front of the rim, but how did they end up with such a horrendous shot? Unbelievable. JDA Dijon hang on by the skin of their teeth. They win it 83-82 over Türk Telekom to advance to the semifinals of the Basketball Champions League. Well, the looks on the faces tell it all, folks. Dijon are stunned that they've made it this far. They've beaten this talented team. Stunned, but perhaps also in a state of ecstasy, and also Türk Telekom stunned. They firmly believe they had the makings of a team that would go all the way here. And they have come up empty. What a comeback. Twice trailed by 12 points in the first half. Dijon come back, and then they had to hold on right at the end. I mean, you know, I'll let you talk us through the stats, Mark, and then also talk about that last play.
You just got to give Dijon so much credit because they stayed with their way of playing. They got out-rebounded. That's not a surprise. The stats don't really tell you. I mean, they were always going to be close because of the 1-point margin, but both last plays. Well, I mean, David Holston didn't attempt to break the defense down. They just stood there and watched him, and going the other way, they even got the switch. They switched onto Ennis, and I'm like, well, Ennis is just going to attack it now because he's got a big player switched onto him. He picked the dribble up, and they gave it to Wiltshire, and Wiltshire just throws up a prayer, Jeff. Crazy. Crazy situation. Neither team finished the game well, but, hey, Dijon deserved everything they got out of that game because of probably because of apart from the last minute or so, they did a great job all round. Stuff like that, Jeff, the penetration and the kick. And that just disappeared in the end of the game because Holston was going to take the shot.
Well, we saw Baldwin come in and make some shots that helped Türk Telekom stay within striking distance. And, you know, it's all credit to Dijon. I mean, what can you say? That, you know, they never lost their belief. They certainly struggled to close it out.
Yeah, that's what they led by 10 points, and then, I mean, and they built that 10-point lead on the back of Axel Julien, on the back of Chase Simon, on the back of sharing the basketball, on the Van Weert and Sassong, and then they stood there for the last 2 minutes and watched Holston try to create tough shots. And yeah, they used a lot of clock. Let's be fair, they won the game, so the coach obviously got it right. But I cannot believe Türk Telekom on the last possession either. Innis picked it up and gave it to Wiltshire on the halfway line, which is this play here, right? This the shot right at the end of the game. That's the best you can get with 7 seconds.
And I thought he was taking it too early. I was surprised, but in the end, it was right. It was desperation. He didn't have any time. He had no other option.
Well, Innis picked the dribble up on the switch. That was I can't understand why Innis, at his level, picked it up.
Well, there you have it, folks. The action from today: San Pablo Burgos winning 92-65, and now Dijon winning 83-82 over Türk Telekom. So Dijon and San Pablo Burgos were square off in the semifinals on Friday here in the Basketball Champions League at the final 8. That was crazy. It was, yeah. Actually, what was the final? It was 83-82, so they didn't get to 100, either one.